Warning, the following video contains comments that some viewers may find disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
Good afternoon, everybody, or good evening, or morning for some people. Welcome to, according to David Bryant, It's About Time. About Time. Very excited today. We've got the Battle of the Titans, apparently. We got Wolfgang in the house, and we've got Mr. Mike Finlow. Gentlemen, how are you doing today?
Hey guys,
Good.
good afternoon, good evening.
Fantastic. This is really exciting. I've been wanting to do this for a while. Thank you once again for joining in. So with further ado, no further ado, actually, let's do a wrist check. Wolfgang, what do you have on today?
I got the Panerai, the BMG Tech.
Nice.
I think it's the exact same one I had in your store the first time I visited. I think, right?
Correct. That was the one you were wearing.
Yeah.
Mike, what do you have on today?
Well, only because we're meeting with Wolfgang here today, I decided to wear the Geo Senator Cosmopolite, which also happens to be the first watch that I bought from Karan a few years ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That is correct. Yeah, that is correct. It was not the first watch from the store, though, but it was the
Correct.
first watch you bought from me. Yeah.
Yes.
And because I had to step it up a little with the boys here today, I had to put on something in comparison. So there you go. Mike, you own this watch too, which is...
Not the G-Shock?
I mean, of course, I have to keep up with you. So I can't wear a G-Shock, right?
I love that one.
Yeah. Fantastic. So, Mike, you've been on the show a couple of times. People have known you. So we'll start with Wolfgang for a little. Wolfgang, you want to introduce yourself? Tell us where you're from and what got you into timepieces and what do you own?
I'm from Austria, born in Austria, but I have a condo in Vegas. So I usually, before COVID, I spent about 4 months out of the year in Vegas. In the last, I think we got the condo in 2008. COVID kind of changed everything a little bit, but I managed to be in Vegas twice this year already, but only for 2 weeks. And I think I started collecting, 2021, about 2018 maybe, so not that long ago actually. I always liked watches, but I didn't have the funds, and I basically just looked at magazines. I think I bought my first nice one about, let's say, 25 years ago, a Tag Quartz. You remember those Formula One? I think like the name was Kyrium or something like that.
Yep.
Quartz watches. That was my first real nice one, the first one I can remember, about 25 years ago. So, and then I was kind of like, until 2018, I was a one watch person, basically. I switched around a little. I think I got my first Rolex after we got married in 2016. So my wife got one Rolex. I got the Explorer 2 back then. And then I think Mike knows the story, but when the Sea Dweller 43 came out, I think that was in 17 maybe. You remember, Karan? Maybe 17?
17,
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I wasn't, I wasn't really following the watch industry, but I bought magazines, and so I kind of followed up on the new releases. And when the Sea Dweller came out, I thought that's the perfect watch. I always like bigger watches, and I thought finally there's a Rolex that looks like one of the Rolex type Submariner and GMT ones, but in 43. But I had no idea that it would be difficult to get. So I think I was in Vegas at the time. Went to a few stores, just went in and said, "I'm here. I want to buy the SD 43," and they just laughed at me. And I found out that something was going on. It wasn't like before. You couldn't just go into a store and buy the watch.
Right.
And so that pissed me off so much that I started. I don't know how I ended up on YouTube, but I ended up on YouTube and found out that there's a whole world, basically, with content creators, watch people, collectors. And basically that's when I went down the rabbit hole. I found out what else was out there, did some research, found out about all kinds of amazing timepieces from different brands. And that basically, I think the first one I bought, basically starting my collection, was another Panerai, the 1389, another 47. And after that, basically, well,
just started collecting, huh?
Just been a little crazy lately, in COVID, but I'm not the only one,
I know. Mike, you have a similar story like that, right? But you started a little earlier as well.
I haven't been collecting that long. I would say maybe only for 3 years have I really been collecting watches. I was like Wolfgang. I was pretty much a one watch guy. I always had a pretty nice watch, but never had more than one or two at a time. It's funny you mentioned that tag, Wolfgang. I bought that exact watch on my honeymoon in Maui 30 years ago.
Oh, wow.
So love that watch. I look at it now, it's so small in comparison to some of the watches today, but I love that watch, and I wore that for a long time. I've owned a few others along the way, nothing overly spectacular. I didn't get my first Rolex until after I met Karan. So I always thought of Rolexes unobtainable, I guess. I never thought that I would ever own a Rolex. I just thought they were very expensive, and never thought that I would ever own any. But and I wasn't necessarily a big fan of the brand. Yep, that's it. That's it.
I can't believe that you had the same one.
Yeah, had that same watch. Funny.
I actually also had to own the green one, though, because I was a huge fan of Boris Becker, and he advertised that watch. So one of the reasons why.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's right. So, I looked for other brands, and that was what was great about going into Horologia. There was all the different brands, all in one place. Like, it was a super center for watches. I'd never seen anything quite like that before. I'm like, wow, this is really cool. I can look at all these different brands in one place. And so that's kind of when I started collecting, was basically when I met Karan. I did buy a watch from his store before I met him.
It was a couple of tags, I think.
It was a tag. Yeah, it was a tag. It was a Calibre 15, I think. It had the 60, 50, 40, 30 kind of it was kind of a racing dial. Ceramic. Yeah, it was really, really cool. But I learned a lot more about watches after meeting Karan, and I did go into the store before I bought this watch, because the first time I went in, Karan only had this in white gold, and he said there is a stainless steel version. I don't have one right now, but maybe the next time you come in, I'll have it. And I don't know. It may have been 4 or 5 months later. I was back in Vegas, and I wandered into the store, and Karan remembered me. Didn't know my name, but he remembered me. He said, "You were looking at the Cosmopolite, weren't you?" I said, "Wow, I can't believe that you remembered that I was looking at that watch." He said, "I have the stainless steel version if you want to take a look at it." So I did, and loved it. And that's kind of how it started. I was back in Vegas a few months after that and bought another watch.
I didn't eat dinner for a week after you bought that watch, just so you know, because
absolutely not true. I don't believe that at all. As a business guy, Karan's not selling watches at a loss, so I'm pretty sure that's not happening. So,
there are two common things about the two of you, actually. One being your tag, Hoya, Kiriam, and two being Wolfgang's first watch in our store was a Glossator as well.
Yeah.
Mhm. The
Yeah.
CQ, right?
The CQ.
Yep.
Yeah.
So,
So
Fantastic.
Will, Mike, when you got into collecting, is that also when you started kind of like, going down, because now you have so much knowledge and you're in the groups, and you're a well-known collector, so that also started like 3-4 years ago?
Yeah, I would say not even that long ago, Wolfgang. I think the YouTube thing, I really didn't pay much attention to YouTube, and then I started noticing there's watch reviews on there. I'm like, wow, this is awesome. I not only have I not only have the opportunity to read about them, but I can also watch demonstrations and see video. I thought that was really cool. Which now just seems so funny because I've been doing it now for probably a year and a half, but it hasn't really been that long. One of the first people I stumbled across was Tim Masso.
Yeah.
And I was just amazed at how much this guy knew. He was like an encyclopedia of watches, reference numbers, knew every function and feature of every watch that he was showing. I was just mesmerized by this guy. And I'm like, how can anybody know this much? And he's young, right? I'm like, how could he possibly have acquired all this knowledge? So he was really the first guy that kind of got me into watching on YouTube.
Yeah.
So whenever I had any specific questions, I always called Karan and asked him. But I learned a lot about different watches and what options are available and what brands are out there, really from watching Tim. And then it just kind of mushroomed from there. I know you're a big Tim Masso fan as well, Wolfgang.
Yeah, same exact thing on my end. He was the first guy that I found the reviews for one watch, a particular watch, and then I found out there's hundreds of them. I could just watch a video of 5-6 minutes for any watch, almost any watch I was interested in.
Right.
That's basically how I in the first year how I learned every day. I watched more and more and more.
Yep.
By the way, Wilson, yes, I was offered water right away when I came to the store. He was not lying. And
Karan only gave me water after I gave him the credit card. Then he offered me water. He let me sweat it out until the purchase was made.
I was sweating. I needed water. Whenever Mike comes in, I need gallons and gallons of water because I know I'm going to get beaten up. I know I have to go home hungry. But it's funny that you guys say this. I personally feel after all of you, once you get to that, interest level of looking at timepieces, it has become easier for us as salespeople because you're already so well informed about a piece, and it makes it like really so much easier because one, what you want at the end of the day when you walk into the store, or you at least and at least know what you're looking for,
Mm-hmm.
And big possibility if something that you're not really looking for, but you've already heard about it. So I think these certain YouTube channels and certain people make a huge difference in helping us retailers make our job easier.
Yeah, for sure.
I think you mentioned it yesterday, about 80% of the sale is done when somebody comes in already knowing what they want. And I think more and more people are, especially, the normal people maybe don't know much about the watches when they walk in there. But if you're any bit of a watch nerd and a collector of any kind, chances are you've done a fair amount of research before you even walked in. And really the visit is just confirmation about, I really do like this, or it's not as good as I thought it was, or it doesn't look right. Something about it's off, whatever. It's just, it just kind of helps make the final decision.
Even that rarely happens to me anymore. By now I know basically, I don't really, there's probably a few that I need to try on, but like with the CQ that I bought in Karan's store, I knew exactly, I had seen it before. It was high on my list for months. I had read up everything, watched videos, as many as I could find. I knew exactly that I wanted to have it. I
do have a confession to make, though. The reason why, and Mike will tell you the truth about No, I do
This is
have
what
a
I've been waiting for. True confessions on
Yeah, yeah,
on
yeah.
It's About Time.
It is fact, though. The reason why I didn't even talk to you much about the CQ, honestly, and Mike will tell you, I'm not a fan.
You don't like it?
I genuinely don't. I mean, I like the watch. I like everything about the watch, mind you. The only thing that bothers me is the crystal.
It's a
The-
little different. I know what you mean, I think. Yeah, it doesn't bother me at all.
yeah, no,
It's
and you know
actually,
that's one of the
it's
reasons. Mike,
actually, you know.
I
go
tried to
ahead.
buy it, Wolfgang. I tried to buy it, and he
Oh,
refused
really?
to sell it to me. He's like, I won't sell it to you. I'll get one of my associates to do it, but I won't sell it to you. I'm like, wow, you really don't
No, he
like this
didn't do
watch.
that to me.
I know. That's what I asked him when I saw that watch that you bought at Quran store. I immediately texted him and I said, "Did you tell him you didn't like the watch?" He's like, "No, he didn't ask." So,
Well, I
yeah,
also
that
said
was funny.
I was not assisting Wolfgang. Is that true or not?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And you know, there's no way in hell he could have persuaded me not to buy it, because I was, you know, actually I think I told Karan, or maybe even you, Mike, on Facebook somewhere, that it's one of the few watches that actually surprised me to the upside. You know, the days I wore it, now I think it's one of the best divers ever made. I'm not kidding. You know, it's apps.
Yeah.
Everything about it is. I can't really explain it, but it maybe happened to me once or twice that a watch surprised me that much. The Moser also surprised me. The Pioneer Moser. Those two are like one of the few that really surprised me to the upside. I don't know why.
You Pioneer Moser as well,
I bought a Moser earlier in the year, in I think in January, and that also I had seen it before, but I wasn't 100% sure how it would, you know, I hadn't really tried them on that much. I knew I liked the color combination of that specific one, but that also surprised me to the upside once I was wearing it a little, just like the Geo.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a huge fan of that watch. I mean, I'll convince you. You'll like it next time when I'm coming.
No,
I'll get you.
I still like that watch. I still like that watch. I'll have to get one of Karan's associates to sell it to me, though, because
I love the watch.
do it.
I love everything about the watch. The only thing bothers me is how, you know,
it's
the crystal.
raised crystal.
When I look at it at like that angle, that's what bothers me. That's all.
It is very unique. I noticed it too. Yeah.
Yeah, the distortion of the numbers through the crystal at certain angles. That's what bothers me. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's all. And also the like double date windows at 6 o'clock bother me too. So.
Oh really? No.
Yes, we know.
Yeah. All right, so let's go with 30 days of. Sorry.
Let me see. I might have a picture here. It shows. You can't really see the crystal.
Yeah. That right at 6 o'clock. It's that dark color. Yeah. It is a little too bright. But if it's okay with the two of you, let's do a little bit of a face-off, if you'd like, between a casual watch, a dress watch, and you could say like an everyday, both like a formal, informal watch. If you'd like to share your timepieces, if it's possible, let's go one by one, if that's all right.
Sure. You just let me know, what was the first one?
So let's do a casual watch, or like a weekday watch.
Well, almost everything I have is
perfect. So which one would you wear? Let's start with Wolfgang, since you started. No problem.
I mean, you don't mean full-blown diver, right? In this category, you mean like
just like a casual, maybe a beat around watch.
Well, you know, for the type of watches I would use when when I'm in an area where I'm not 100% certain, you know, an area I might have never visited, or you know, I'm with people that I don't want to have a very noticeable watch. I probably most of the time pick a Tudor, maybe something in that line. Pelagos, for example. I think Mike has a Pelagos, right?
I do.
Yep. Mike has a
So
Pelagos.
that's one that I would pick, or maybe what else is there? Big Pilot, maybe. Well, very noticeable.
Noticeable, but not as noticeable as a brand.
Yeah, that's true.
How about you, Mike? What would you pick if you were wearing something like a Sunday going to the grocery store?
Yeah. I've got a couple that I might choose. The first one, I've got a Panerai 1312.
Love that.
Which is just really basic. It just has a date and the seconds hand.
Love the seconds hand on that one. That's in blue, right?
Yeah, it's blue. Yeah, the blue seconds hand. It's got the. I noticed that they don't have the see-through case back any longer on the 1312, but I managed to get one of the, and the numerals are now green, but this is more of the khaki or taupe type of color, which I prefer. Yeah, I prefer that better.
Yeah, green now on the new ones. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
According to the website, they have green. The numerals are green, and the case back is solid on the 1312 now. I'm not sure why they did that, but that would
probably create another stir about Panerai. Somebody will probably write an article that they're hiding the movement and blah 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 blah.
Probably. Yeah. The other one that I like.
Me and Mike have very similar taste because I have a similar watch.
We do. I've noticed that. Yeah.
Yeah.
We have a lot of the same kind of watches.
I love almost everything you have.
The other one is the ceramic Seamaster 300. Really, really comfortable on a rubber strap. Just easy. It's kind of a wind and wear, no date. So it's quick and easy to, and you can bang it around. Lovely wave dial. So those are a couple.
I don't see you wearing that too often, though.
What's that?
Do you wear that too often? Because I've not seen you wear that too often, though.
I actually haven't worn it in a little while. It's probably been a month since I've put it on. But yeah, I mean, I have a lot of choices now. Unfortunately, it's a good thing and a bad thing. But there are definitely some watches that I don't wear as much as I used to, and I still really like them. I don't want to get rid of them necessarily, but I just don't find myself wearing them as much. But it's nice to have that option if I want to just throw something really casual on. Like, I don't have any what I would call beater watches anymore. I've kind of gotten rid of them. So like that Omega is probably, well, between that and the Pelagos, I would say, are probably the two.
Yeah.
The Pelagos is definitely cheaper than that. That Omega was not really that cheap for a Seamaster, considering it's ceramic. But the Pelagos is probably the one that I would, probably beat around a little bit more.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Omega. David's asking which Seamaster. It's the ceramic, David.
Yeah, it's the SMP 300. Mm-hmm. SMP 300 ceramic, see-through case back, wave dial. They've come out with a few more iterations of this, like the all black, where everything's kind of blacked out. Not as big a fan. I like the contrast with the white. So. But I know Tudor just came out with one that looks pretty similar to that. They're ceramic.
With the same movement, actually. It doesn't look really too similar, but with the same movement. So anyway, gentlemen, okay, that's your everyday watch. Dress watches. This is what I'm actually a lot more interested in. Wolfgang.
I only have I think I only have two watches that would really be considered real dress watches. Everything else is kind of more on the sports side.
Mm-hmm.
So the real dress watch that I absolutely adore is this one.
Love that watch. Beautiful.
And this is a real dress watch, manual wind, not even a seconds hand. But if it's not too hot outside, I don't care. I go. I put this on. I go to the grocery store with it. I'm dressed like a bum and I wear it. I don't put the watches on depending on an occasion where I go to. It's more like I cycle through the rotation. Everything is worn, and so just depends on the weather sometimes or the activity I'm gonna do. Otherwise, I could put the Lange on for basically just being at home.
Yeah, the Lange is gorgeous. That Aventine dial is, I've got new love actually, thanks to you. After you said what you'd like to see in November, by accident, a brand sent it over well in advance.
And, that one is amazing.
But both, I mean, even I've not been fortunate to see the Lange in person, but I'm surprised how much, how nice these Aventine look.
The GP is an automatic, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
That's high on my list for November.
Nice. How about you, Mike? Dress watch.
Yeah, I'm also like Wolfgang. I only have maybe a couple of watches that I would consider dress watches. This is one of them, the Geo. I consider this a dress watch. Maybe others wouldn't, but one of the other ones I do is the one that you have on, Karan, is the UN Marine Tourbillon. And the only other thing that I guess I would consider dress is the Lange 1 time zone. Which is
that's one of my all-time favorite watches ever made.
And this is the previous model. They had some changes. I like the previous model better as well. What's really actually very interesting, Mike, is both the 2 of your 3 dress watches are world timers. Which is really nice. It's really nice.
Yeah, I like a GMT function. I would say that's probably my favorite complication is GMT. I don't know why. I mean, I do travel a fair amount, but
mine too.
I love having that extra hand.
I agree.
Just to know the time.
I completely agree. I think a GMT is, to a lot of people, I would say more than I would say definitely more than a lot of other people, is a little more functional than a chronograph for daily use.
Yeah.
A second time zone or anything. Sorry, there's a war going on between Kim and Dan here about Apple Watches. I love it.
Yeah.
No, but it's great. It's great. So, all right, we won't go to the third category of watches because we figured out that.
Wilson wants to know what the price is on 4 side states all at once, because we're kind of building a little group,
Yes.
And we're trying to squeeze you for.
The problem is not about the price.
Yeah.
The problem is getting those pieces at the moment.
Yeah.
So Wilson,
we have 4 heavy hitters coming in. You got 4 heavy hitters coming in in November, and you got to stock up.
I have never even seen one. I haven't seen a date in my life. Couldn't manage to find one anywhere. I've never seen one.
We had one, which
I think David told me, but not when I was there.
Yeah, we definitely had one which was pre-sold. Honestly, love it. Good-looking watch, great-looking watch. I would buy the Zeitwerk no date over the Zeitwerk date because I can't justify the difference in retail.
Yeah.
For that window, for that pointer date.
Yeah. It's just I'm interested in it because it's 44 and not 42, but I would have to try see him in person, side by side.
True.
It's either the date or the striking time, Wolfgang. They're both.
The striking time I tried on, actually.
Striking timer for 4 people. Buy the minute repeater.
I have, those gimmicks are not really my type of stuff on watches. I just have no use for them. I don't need minute repeaters, striking times. I don't even like chronographs. So
Wolfgang, in the evening today with that lightning storm at the back, like Napoleon would do, would listen to the time, when to actually, instead of getting to your enemy, you could have actually used it today against your war with Mike. Um, Dan has a very interesting question. Is there a struggle to get pieces in stock recently? Certain brands, and I don't think it's a struggle. I think it's more of what the market has become today and what is working for these brands. Personally, it was never a problem to get certain high-end timepieces at 20 years, 16, 17 years ago. They were available. They were definitely available. But here's my question to the two of you. The next piece that you would probably consider, which is whether it's a sports model or whether it's a dress. Wolfgang,
By the way, I have a question for Mike too.
Sure. Actually, go ahead with your question.
In that exact realm that your question is.
Okay.
Because I always have watches on my radar, always.
Okay.
I kind of have a mental list where, I consider, maybe this, and then one is deleted and the next one is added. Do you have that too, Mike, that you basically almost every day you look at stuff and you think about what you want to add and what you want to do next?
Yeah, I told my wife, she kind of looks at me and shakes her head from time to time about like, what are you doing? Like, why do you have all these watches? And I said, look, I could literally buy a watch every day. I see a watch every day that I'm like, wow, this thing is incredible. I would love to own that. I mean, so there are so many cool pieces out there. It's just not possible to own them all. But yes, I do kind of keep an inventory of things in my head, and also on my phone. I actually write them down so I don't forget which ones, and then I look at them occasionally and say, am I still really interested in this? And sometimes I'll take some off that I've lost interest in, or whatever excited me about it before doesn't any longer. But then there are some that have stayed, and those are the ones that I know that I'm really interested in.
Let's ask the chat, because I'm exactly like that too. What Mike just said is basically a description of what I'm doing. So maybe we're not the only two,
I don't think you are. And that leads me to another question is, how much time do you guys spend on the internet, on watch groups, on YouTube, to look at timepieces? And don't you think that it's because of it was because of the pandemic, or, so it has helped us at least.
Pandemic skyrocketed, my consumption of watch content. Definitely.
Agreed.
But it's
same for me. I if you would have told me 2 years ago that I would be buying watches without looking at them in person first, I would have said there's no chance that that's happening. And I'm trying to think of the last watch that I bought. It must have been with Quran.
The Mosda. You bought the Mosda sight unseen.
But I hadn't seen it. I hadn't seen it. But I'm trying to think of the last watch that I purchased after I had tried it on first. It was probably the UN, the Marine Tourbillon, and the.
You tried it on. You had tried. I think it was the Pelagos. You had not tried with me.
So.
Right.
I mean, almost every watch I've purchased in the last couple of years, I purchased without physically handling it before I purchased it, which I never thought I would have done. But it was the only way, really, during COVID, to do that. So I don't know. I'm not saying that's right or wrong. I'm just saying I'm kind of surprised to spend, and based on the price of some of these watches, you're like, well, that's kind of a lot of money to spend on something you haven't even seen in person. But if I buy it through Quran, I know that if I don't like it, I can send it back to him, and it'll be fine.
That's the time I'm leaving right now. No, of course you can.
But to answer your question, the GP Quran is high on my list for the next one still.
Besides GP, since we know the GP, what else do you have on your radar?
I'm thinking, there is an option of adding another big pilot because I'm a big fan of big pilots.
Mm-hmm.
So the titanium one is an option. And yeah, that's the steel black dial, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the adult version of the big pilot.
Yeah, exactly. That's the real big pilot.
I have the exact same one.
Yeah,
But
I love that new the Mojave that you just got.
the
It's
Mojave
fantastic.
is one that I added, and now I always like the titanium, so there's an option. I'm thinking about that. And then I like the GO70s. I asked you on one of the other streams, remember, Karan, about that, that's the weird K
70s.
shape. Yeah.
Mhm.
That's one I would have to, put on the wrist first. I have hardly ever seen it in person, but I've seen it once in a boutique in Vienna, and it was really, really impressive.
What color dial?
Gray dial, probably. I love gray
Gray dial?
dials. The blue dial is nice, could be nice too, but the gray and the blue dial, both I would like to see in person one day. Then I want to try, possibly if you get them for November, the GP came out with those titanium divers, the 44 mm, kind of
Correct.
limited, but 250 or whatever, not too bad.
Yeah.
The likelihood of that being in November, I think there is 1 month exclusivity of that particular piece in a certain store.
Okay.
About those pieces. I might not. But I'm trying very hard to get them in November for everybody to see, because I think that release, Mike, you even asked me about it as well.
I did. Yeah, I really like the gray. I like the gray dial one better than the blue, personally.
Yeah.
David also asked me about it. It's going to be a hit. It's a beautiful piece. I think it is.
I liked it from when it came out, the pictures, and I just, that's one I want to see in person, because it's some of the edges and, the color, it's just hard to tell, so just let us know once you get one in, and, post some real life pictures. That would help.
I'm pretty sure
we'll have a race to we'll have a race to Las Vegas and see who can get there first.
Yeah, you can
my
chances.
Yeah, I like my chances.
Here's the deal, though. Here's the thing, though. But more than anything else, you may like it in pictures, the shape and everything, which is pretty sure. I'm only concerned about the weight, because it's titanium. You may not at that point, which I know a lot of times people feel like, oh, it's too light,
I don't care.
You don't.
I have titanium. Yeah, I have plenty, so I don't care. But David wants it too in the chat. We're supposed to keep our hands off that one.
I might get both, David, because
you can have the blue one. I'm good with him getting the blue.
Well, he has to go to VIP status first, right? David has to get to VIP.
He's got to be close to VIP by now, Karan.
He's very close to it, but not yet. So how about you, Mike?
Yeah, there's a couple. There's one Rolex that I really want, and I've been on the waiting list with Karan for over a year now.
Oh,
still waiting for the blue dial Sky Dweller.
That's
like everybody else is, right? I know Wolfgang has a Sky Dweller,
but not the
so
blue.
that one I'm waiting for still. So that's definitely on my list. The other one is the Patek 50. Is it 5224? The Pilot World Time. The 5224G.
I can't believe you just said that. That's the only Patek I like, and that's the only Patek on my list.
Yeah,
you're talking about the travel time.
Yeah, the Pilot travel time. Yeah,
the 42 mm.
Yep, I did try that one on. I was in a boutique here in Scottsdale, and they had one.
Yeah,
the guy was very excited that he had one, and he showed it to me. And of course, I would never buy a Patek through this guy. If I was going to buy a Patek through anybody, it would be through Karan. But anyway. I tried it on. It's fantastic. So I actually got to play with it a little bit, and check the functionality. Yeah, that's it.
You want the rose gold or the white gold?
No, I would do the
What
white
more?
gold. I would
You
probably
said
do
it's
the white
G,
gold.
right? You said
Yeah. G.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's my favorite Patek. We'll
I think
Those
that
see.
was
two.
the second Patek I sold to Sanjay.
Oh, you did.
Yeah, Sanjay has that watch too.
Oh, great.
It's I don't think it's in I don't think this one is hard to get because on the pre-owned market it's sold for a little below retail, like 10% below retail, I think.
That's
And
right.
it's readily available, at least in Vienna, what I've seen. So it's not surprising. I don't like all the popular Pateks, so usually what I like, it's not that popular. So it's basically the only thing that's keeping me back from it is the price. I never bought a watch that expensive. And so I'm a little hesitant if I should shell out that much money.
It's Patek. Honestly, if it's that one Patek you like, you should.
I do, yeah.
Yeah, you should.
It's my
If it's
favorite.
available, pick it up. It's not, it's not. Honestly, it does not. I don't care about resale because I know you wouldn't resell your
No,
timepiece.
I'm not. I'm not. I'm not. I'm not selling almost
Exactly.
none of my watches, and if I would buy that, I'll keep it in the collection for sure.
And it is worth it, worth every penny.
It's in my head, what the game I'm playing is: do I get that one nice Patek that I want, the only one I really like, or do I get basically 4 other watches that I also like?
True.
That's the same. That's the constant mind.
It's both ways though. If you get the 4 other watches, you'll still want the Patek.
Yeah, that's true.
And if you buy the Patek, you'll still want 4 watches you'll see in the future.
Exactly.
So it doesn't matter at that point.
So
I would just
I can't say the word, but I'm beep.
Yeah. We all are. No, but that's a nice watch.
Mike and me would get the same Patek. That'd be nice.
Yeah, Watch Brothers with Pateks. That would be pretty.
Yeah,
those are first class problems.
White gold, one in rose gold. Squeeze Karan a little for a discount. Kind of do it in November.
That wouldn't happen, and I have no control on that particular.
We'll have to get Christine. We'll have to get Christine on that. She'll help us out.
Good.
But I'm not even talking about that right now. But yes, I would encourage the both of you to purchase that timepiece, definitely. And it could be from wherever,
Sure.
Yeah, it could be from wherever. It's a beautiful piece, though.
I like it. Yeah, I don't know. I can't really explain why. It's a little different looking, but something about it is I really like it.
No, it is a beauty. I could arrange something.
What was the other one? The Blue Sky Dweller, right?
Yeah.
And what was the next one?
The Patek. Those are the only 2 I mentioned.
Right. That was it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a question. Sorry, I have a question for the both of you. What do you think of the FB John Francis Ford Coppola watch?
Is that the Godfather watch?
The FFC watch. No, that's the not the
Godfather.
You mean the only
company?
The only watch. The only watch.
Oh.
Have you seen that?
Yeah. I can't curse or I can't use two better words, so I say I don't like it at all.
Me too. I didn't like it at all. I thought it's unique, but it was like, yeah. Did you see it?
Some people said it would be good, and I kind of agree. If there was an option that it shows the finger.
Yes, you know what? I was thinking the same thing. It should have shown the finger.
Exactly. If it would do the finger, it would be kind of funny.
The at midnight. Show the body at midnight. Yeah.
So
Like, go to sleep, assholes. It's too late, right? I know you can curse. Don't worry. No, I thought of that too. I thought of that too. So it was interesting, though.
That's what Moser would have done. If Moser would have done a timepiece like that, they would have had the finger right there on the press release.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's a very interesting idea, but I just don't understand. Like, what is this? Like, you're showing time, like, or this. It should be the finger. I do agree.
That stuff is not for me, design wise. I'm one of our friends, he bought a Freak from you recently, right? So I'm kind of, I could see myself going for a Freak in the future one day, but that's probably as wild as I see myself go. That stuff that's so far out there is probably, I don't know if I'll ever gonna get there.
Yeah, I don't want to struggle to have to tell the time. I mean, if I'm going to look at the watch, I want to know what the time is. So if it's not legible, or you have to get the user manual out to know what the sign is from the hand to know what time it is, I'm not that excited about it. I applaud the artistic piece of it, but would it be something that I would buy? I don't think I'm cool enough to wear a watch like that, so I probably wouldn't do that.
You're actually very cool enough to actually not wear a watch like that, so it's fine. What do you think of the Crazy Hour then, if you say something like that with the front wheel up?
I mean, I've seen that watch. Again, I think it's cool. I just don't think. It's not for me. I just don't think I would buy anything like that. I think the Zeitwerk would be, and the Freak that Wolfgang just mentioned. To me, the Freak isn't all that weird or out there. I can still tell the time pretty easily with that. I mean, it's very cool and very different. You probably won't run into anybody else that owns one. But I imagine it would start a lot of conversations, and with anybody that was paying attention to your watch. But the Crazy Hours, again, not a huge fan of.
True, I agree. Mike, coming back to that also, what do you think of your new Breitling?
The new Breitling. Yes, I happen to have it here.
There you go.
Ooh, right.
Yeah, nobody's mistaken it yet for a Platinum Daytona. I'm a little disappointed, but it's pretty cool. I mean, I really do like the blue. That ice blue, with the platinum bezel, it's got a nice weight to it, and the case back is nice on it. So yeah, I mean, I think Breitling has done some nice things. I've owned a Breitling in the past. I know Dan probably doesn't believe that, but I did own one many years ago, and wasn't a huge fan of that one that I owned. So I've kind of stayed away from the brand, and I think with some of the recent releases that they've done a much better job. This thing is pretty cool.
Read the comment at the bottom.
Yeah, I saw it. Hey, Kim, you can come over. You can have some visiting hours with it if you want. I'll let you wear it for a little while.
But what does that mean? She wanted it too, and Mike bought it first?
Yeah, Kim Coulter, he actually wanted it, but Mike beat him to it for sure. Literally 3 minutes.
We'll have a drink or dinner, Kim. I'll bring in, and you can check it out. I'll let you wear it and take pictures.
I want the two of you to meet, actually, since you guys are in town. So I'm gonna actually share both your numbers. Not here, obviously, but which I made a mistake of sharing my number once on the public platform, and I got 10 phone calls. Yeah. Wolfgang, you like that piece too, right?
Yeah. I'm not a chronograph guy, but that's one of the chronographs I would have definitely have a very high interest in. I can't believe how similar my taste is to Mike's. I don't know what the hell is going on.
The funny thing, I've noticed this also. This is actually so true. It's not only the two of you, but I personally feel that a lot of people on the chat too, also, that I've actually helped, have very similar taste, which is fine product. So,
Interesting.
sadly, I can't agree on certain pieces, but it's very similar. Like, you may think like Kim Coulter would like some pieces, maybe some in gold, some in steel, but he likes very similar pieces. Then there's David, then there's Dan also. I mean, who doesn't like the Speedmaster? Who does not like that? It's a classic. But a lot of people have the same taste.
Yeah, kind of makes sense, I guess.
Yeah.
Does that make us mainstream because we all kind of like the same things, or?
Well, you can come back to the normal section then, right?
I guess.
Yeah.
Well,
So
there's a lot of there's some watches that I really don't understand taste wise. I just don't like them, that are hyped up to Kingdom Come. So I have no idea why so many people go after Schoen, FP Schoen. Don't do anything for me design wise. I'm sure it's good watch.
You're hurting my feelings now, sir.
I know.
No, I know.
But
no, it's so personal.
Yeah, exactly. It's just to me the design doesn't do anything. I'm not interested in them. Same Nautilus. You have a lot of Nautilus, and yeah, you showed me that picture, I think.
Yeah, FB. I personally
super popular. Yeah, that's more my liking. That's more what I like.
Yeah. And Nautilus is honestly not for me, though. Even though I happen to have
some, yeah. I like the Aquanaut, actually, the one on the upper left.
Yeah,
that's a chronograph, right? I think that's kind of design wise. That's the one that I like the best from the hyped sports models, the Patek ones. But I like VC much better, than AP, for example. So I'm glad that I'm not lusting after any of the hyped stuff that's unattainable. So I don't care.
And that's one of the reasons why I actually gel with a lot of you guys, is because one reason is that it's not only about, you should have the classics sometimes. Now they call the classics, but the hype pieces also, one or two in your collection sprinkled around. But you're not after that. You're not buying stuff to actually acquire stuff. And that's the problem in the market today, that a lot of people are coming in and saying, I'm just going to go with this retailer because they carry this. So over time, I would, probably qualify to get that. That's bullshit. I think it is. Buy what you damn like. I mean, I don't care if ABC don't like it. Buy what you like. Like, and both of you are like that.
It's like Mike said, there's exactly like he said before, there's basically at least one watch I see every single day that I would like to buy. Readily available, from price points starting from whatever $300 up to whatever $70,000-$80,000. At least one is out there every single day that I see that I should maybe that should be on my list. So I don't get all the all the lusting after exactly the things that they can't get, that those are the ones that they want the most. It's
very true. Very true. So if I had to ask you, gentlemen, if you had that, it's a very common question asked a lot on the show too and everywhere else. If it was a one watch collection with what you currently have in your collection, what would you keep?
Can I at least have a G-Shock?
Yeah, that's one other. You can definitely have a G-Shock. Okay. I'll let that ride. Yeah. That was funny. But
because G-Shock, you kind of need a watch that the one has to go under the radar. You
Fair
can't
enough.
have just nice,
Yeah.
expensive pieces. So
See, David, back at you. We got the G-Shock in, so you're part of the non-VIP boy club.
very difficult. Actually, the GO I got from you is in the running.
Okay.
I love the fact that the only watch you would keep was the one that Karan hates. I love that. That's fantastic.
Well, there's more, but I'm thinking like
Mike, Mike, I was hoping you'd say the 50 fathoms after that, right?
I'm working. I'm thinking about grabbing that one. Yeah, and showing you that one.
yeah, the 50 fathoms. That's an option definitely. It might be between those two. Skydwell is only 100-meter water resistant. That's
That would be the one I would keep, Wolfgang, as the Sky Dweller from your collection. If I had one, Karan, if I had one, that would be the one watch that I would keep because it's an annual calendar. It's an annual calendar. Steel Sports. It does have. I mean, you're not going to dive in it, but you can go swimming with it.
Swimming, you can, yeah.
And it's a GMT, right? Annual calendar, GMT, swimmable. I mean, it's kind of like the Swiss Army knife.
Robust, very durable, robust.
Yeah, and you're not, and from an investment, if you're thinking about it from an investment perspective, you're never going to lose any money on it. So,
you know that because of you, even Sanjay called me after that show once when you spoke about it, and he said, "Even I want that watch." Now I get into trouble because of all that.
Somebody mentions, Kim mentions the overseas chrono. So, if actually that might be a good answer. If it wasn't for my collection, the overseas. If I was a one watch guy with, let's say, a G-Shock and one watch, just one nice one and the G-Shock, I might get the overseas.
You can wear it on different occasions. Yes.
Exactly. You dress it up with the leather. You got everything in one. You buy the one watch, got the leather, the rubber, the bracelet, 150 meters. Maybe that would be my choice if I was a one watch guy. Sell my collection and get this one and have a Seiko or a G-Shock. Not going to happen, I hope, but that kind of would make
my sake it doesn't happen also. None of you don't listen to this question. Mute your button right now.
It is a very difficult question. It's
it is
very, but the overseas is definitely. I see where Mike is coming from. The Skydweller is a good option too.
It is. It definitely is. It's a nice watch, but that's a good. Interesting.
What was your pick be, Karan?
I've said that before also.
Your collection is a little bit bigger, so you would have to sell a little more.
I would definitely with that one watch, and I don't care about the water resistancy as well, because I have actually ruined it in the ocean by accident, is my Patek 5070 Limania movement. I've said it before, and that is one thing. Yeah, it's in yellow gold and a leather strap. It is a manual wound chronograph.
5070?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a beautiful watch.
5070.
It's a 42 also, Wolfgang, so.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. There's not many Pateks that are 42, and that's one of them.
5070 G?
J. 5070J, yeah.
Okay. He's got the yellow gold.
Yellow gold.
Also, the J stands for yellow gold?
Correct.
R for rose, G
for...
Oh,
yeah, I see it, yeah.
G for white.
Black dial?
Black dial. Leather strap. I think it is one of my ultimate watches. Love it. Can't get any better. But at least for me.
Yeah. Interesting.
I mean, it could get better if you had it in platinum, but no, it's not. I can actually bring it up here. Let's see. Share screen. Chrome tab. There you go. It should come up right now. You see it?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's nice.
No, it's not for me, but I can see it has an appeal, to a very seasoned collector like you, probably that answer would come
It
up.
will go with my outfit, right? If I was wearing it today. Yeah. By the way, I have ruined that watch. I had ruined it in the ocean by accident. I was wearing it. And yeah.
Does it have a screw down crown? It's a chronograph, right? So
yeah, it's a chronograph. And I actually hit a rock and it started the chrono and it seized the movement.
So did you have it? You sent it in and you fixed it?
Yes, I did fix it, but I fixed it through another medium than, going directly, which was a lot less expensive because it actually is a Lemania movement. So it was a lot less expensive going through that medium. Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to ask you what Patek charged you to fix that.
That'd be pricey for sure.
Yeah. Yep. Anyway, perfect. I think we've hit our hour mark. I really appreciate you guys joining us.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah,
I did have a faith that it was going to be a war, but it wasn't. So thank you all for also joining it and falling for it.
We're on the same team, it sounds like, Wolfgang and I, with a lot of the
very
same
difficult
watches.
to get me and Mike.
It's a peace war.
Watches, I don't know.
No, but that's great that you guys have the same taste. Similar taste, I must say. And also, one of your first watches, Mike, that Wolfgang has too. No, and Glasuta, but I'm talking about the Tag Curium too,
Oh, yeah.
What are
I know a lot of Mike's collection from, from groups and posts I've seen, and it's basically, I like everything he has.
Very good.
Right back at you, sir.
Yep.
So we'll see once we come in November for your trunk show. We'll see. Maybe we'll buy this exact same piece.
We might have to fight over it.
Start asking everybody for twos.
You might have to get, just stock everything, 2 pieces, just to be sure.
Right? Exactly. And Wilson is dreaming again. He's like, we're all getting Zeitwerks and Skydwellers.
I know he likes Zeitwerks. I don't know if he likes. I think he likes Skydwellers too.
Mm-hmm. True.
But once again, Sky Dwellers. Those are the thank you gifts for coming to the trunk show, aren't they? One of those 2 watches.
Those are the gift with purchases in this swag bag.
Exactly. Yeah. Buy one, get a Zeitwerk free. Yeah.
All right, gentlemen. It's been a pleasure as always. Thank you for supporting the channel. And everybody in the chat, Mike has taught me this. Hit the like button. Yep. And subscribe if you have.
Hit the like button.
Hit the like button.
Yep. We'll see you guys soon. Thank you all.
Bye-bye.
Thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Take care. Bye-bye.